Welcome to episode 4 of Area 69 After Dark. Okay guys, so last week's episode was super freaking crazy. We talked about a lot, okay? We talked about a lot, and that's definitely something I kind of want to touch base with tonight's special guest, because tonight's special guest is extra freaking special. Probably one of the top few guests that we're going to be having, for sure, because obviously number one guest that will ever be here on Area 69 is Emiliano, but we have the next best guest, which is my mom. So today we have Miss Lorena69. Go ahead, girl, come on.
Yo no estoy faking the funk, así soy yo. Me gusta este estilo. Me equivoco otra vez. Do it again.
LOL.
¿Ya lo vas a traducir?
Yeah.
Yo no estoy faking the funk, así soy yo. Me gusta ser buchona vice, me encanta la mota. Dije al revés, right?
I don't even remember it anymore, honestly.
One more time.
LOL. I'm gonna leave all this, eh?
I don't care.
Dude, she's really
Yo no estoy faking the funk, así soy yo. Me encanta la mota, ser buchona vibes, me encanta este estilo de vida.
¿Te gusta o te encanta?
Me encanta el dinero y me encanta el café con pan. Pensaban que iba a decir otra cosa, ¿verdad? Pero no lo dije. Pero ya saben que sigue.
Okay, welcome, Lorena.
Thank you for having me.
You practiced that for a really long time.
Y aún así no me salió.
It's okay. You guys get the vibe. So, today, obviously, we have Mama 69. If you guys already know her, then y'all already know that she is a queen. You guys have probably seen her in our vlogs or our stories or Cocinando con las 69s, because we used to do that a lot. But yeah, so I kind of just wanted to go ahead and have her on for tonight's episode, because first of all, you guys wanted her on. You guys have been begging. They've been begging to have you on.
Thank you.
So here she is, and I just wanted them to kind of get to know you. Like, who is Lorena69? Who's Lorena?
Jenny and Annette's mom.
No, girl. Besides Jenny and Annette's mom, who is Lorena?
Lorena. Lorena nació en Michoacán. Y luego se la trajeron para Estados Unidos. No, mis kidding. Pues sí, what else can I say?
Like, okay, so you do, you're a baker. You're married.
Yo empecé desde que nací. Yes, I'm a baker. I've been married almost 35 years. I have 3 kids. I live in Riverside.
Yeah.
I'm a baker. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I'm a suegra.
She's a baddie. Yes, especially that one. So yeah, this is my mom, you guys, and for tonight's episode, I kind of just wanted to obviously we're at the very beginning of Area 69, so I feel like she was gonna be a perfect fit for like the introduction and everything, because we're kind of taking things back. We're talking about things that I've done in the past, my experiences, my whatever. Like, so pretty much now that I have Area 69, I'm airing out all of my dirty laundry about myself.
Están saliendo los trapitos al sol.
Literally, I'm airing myself out, and I felt like it was only appropriate to have my mom on here, because I'm airing things out to her as well. Like, she doesn't know about this stuff either. Like, the last episode, she didn't know about that. And when I told her about it, she was obviously upset. Now, looking back, do you feel like it makes sense? Like, does it click? It
makes sense how skinny you were.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in contact with us, like, every day. You used to be like in a bad mood most of the time.
Yeah, that made me in a really bad mood.
Stressed out all the time.
Like on edge all the time. Always on edge. Like anxious all the time. So yeah, and the crazy thing is that you actually met this guy. You actually met this guy at one point, and I don't know. That was just like a really crazy.
I just seen them twice, actually.
Really?
Twice.
One time at the house, and then one time at my house.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you interacted with him, was it like weird or?
No. He was actually nice. Hasta me sirvió champagne, and wine or something.
Really?
Yes. Yes, he was very polite.
I don't even remember like that interaction.
I do remember that Ruben and me went over.
Oh, yes, I do remember.
That was the only time.
Ruben didn't like him.
No.
Ruben
right
did
away.
not like him. Yeah.
He told me, Mom, what is Annette doing? What is she doing? Tell her something. Y pues le dije, pues, ¿qué quieren que haga si ya está con él?
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally.
El tiempo lo dirá y ella va a notar. Y,
At that point, I wasn't asking you for permission for anything. Like,
ella
I was
lo
just
verá
doing
y
it.
ella va a rectificar sus errores.
Yeah, and here we are now.
Hopefully it's not too late. But yeah.
Oh no, girl. That was a long time ago. That was, Honestly, as soon as I got that message from that girl, I was like, I was done.
Good.
I was done,
Tienes que valorarte tú primero, niña.
Is there anything that you want to talk about specifically before we get into like chisme and all that stuff? Like, is there anything you want to touch base on, or like there's nothing that you're like, oh my God, I really want to talk about that?
No, not really.
No.
Go ahead. No me acuerdo.
She's like, take the wheel, sis.
Yes.
Since we have such an iconic guest for tonight, I honestly struggled to figure out exactly what we were going to talk about, because I feel like there's so much to talk about, because you're my mom. Like, everything. Like, you know the tea of everything. So, to a certain extent, because you didn't know this last thing, but, for the most part, like, everything. So, the number one thing that I wanted to talk about for today's episode is, like, my quinceañera era.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, you already know me. In high school, I wouldn't say that I was a loca, because I wasn't a loca. Right?
No.
You don't think? I wasn't a loca like that. Jenny was a loca. Always has been the loca. I'll leave that to Jenny. But I was more like a hopeless romantic. Like, I wanted to fall in love with every guy that I actually met. Right? Because, dude, do you remember David?
David.
From middle school up until high school?
Middle school.
That's why I wanted to go to poly.
¿No fue el que te cacharon andándote un beso con él?
No. We'll talk about that. My grandma caught me. But no.
No, that's another one. They called us from the school.
No, from middle school.
Yes.
No, that wasn't him. But we can talk about that. So, in middle school, I was in 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And you guys didn't let us date until, like, what, 15?
15.
Which I think 16. Is a really good age. Honestly, I think that's a good age to let your kids date. But of course, when you're the kid, you don't give a fuck and you just, So I was like in 7th grade, and there was this guy that, I didn't really like him, but like, I thought I liked him. Like, I just wanted a boyfriend so bad that I just, I convinced myself that I liked him, because he was a little chiquilín. Like, he was way shorter than I was. Way shorter. But long story short, we became like a couple, and he was my first kiss.
David?
No, Omar.
Oh my God, that's another one?
Yeah, that's another.
Omar?
That was a chiquilín.
Omar.
He was a soccer player.
I don't remember him.
Oh my God, dude, he was way shorter than me. And I remember he literally even had to get on the steps to be able to reach me. And I was like at the bottom of the steps, and he was like 2 steps up. So I had to, you know what I mean? So I was looking up at him. And I ended up getting caught by this really annoying teacher that no one liked. Do you remember her?
What's her name?
I don't remember her name. But she was like a mean teacher at Gage.
No, I don't remember.
She was a mean teacher, but yeah, I remember she caught us, and she was like, "Come here right now." And we both went, and she separated both of us, and then we got in trouble, and I got sent to the office, and I was freaking out because obviously I couldn't have a boyfriend or anything like that. And I even told the principal, I was like, "Are you going to call my mom?" She was like, "Yeah, I am." And I was like, "All right." And I remember they called you.
Yeah, no me acuerdo. I don't remember.
I do remember that. They called you, and I was right there because they like to call the parents in front of you. And I don't think you reacted, obviously. You weren't going to...
What grade were you in?
7th.
7th. Oh, is that...
I was like 12.
Fue cuando nos hablaron, nos dijeron que te encontraron dándote un beso.
Yeah,
¿sí? Okay. I thought it was Richard.
No, that was elementary school. See, girl, dude, I'm telling you, ever since I was, remember Jesus, remember Ivan?
So many boyfriends.
Dude, so many guys. That's me. Like, I've been more like oh my God, I like this boy. Like, you know what I mean? Luckily, dude, I'm so thankful that I wasn't that dumb to like get pregnant or anything like that super young. But I was like a helpless romantic for sure. But anyway, so they called my mom. I got in trouble. I remember they took my phone. And do you know that I would just take my phone back?
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
From where?
From your cajon.
Oh my God. Nosotros bien dormidos roncando.
Yeah. Literally at night, I would just take it.
Ya lo pagarás.
Yeah.
Ya lo pagarás.
I know. And that's why I'm openly saying it. Because I'm like, dude, I already know I'm going to go through this.
¿Y sabes que uno paga doble?
I know. Oh, no. But Isaac, I'm scared because Isaac was bad as hell. If you thought I was bad, Isaac was like 50 times worse than me. So I'm even more terrified because Emmy so far, he has like Isaac energy. He's really like, he likes to play. He likes to be jumping and stuff. Like, he's really, really energetic. So I'm sure he's going to be like Isaac.
So ya lo pagarán los dos?
Yeah, we both will.
Yeah.
1,000%. Sure. I've always been like that type of bitch to like always be like in love with guys or whatever. So that's definitely going to tie into the whole quinceañera era that I'm wanting to talk to you guys about. So how do we even get into this? So it was freshman year, and I don't know if I ever wanted a quinceañera growing up. I don't think I ever really wanted one.
Hasta que Jenny tuvo la de ella, empezaste, oh, me too, yo también, I want a quinceañera, can I have a quinceañera?
Overall, I feel like I've never really been a super, super girly girl. I feel like Jenny's the more girly girl. But whenever I would see Jenny doing something, I was always like, well, me too. You know, like, I have to do it too. Like, I just have to. So I finally decided that I wanted to have a quince. And at this time, I was a freshman, obviously. And how would you describe me in high school? I feel like I was like a nerdy girl. I was like a nerdy, antisocial, but I still had friends. Like, the cool people still liked me. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, I still had friends, but I was just really selective with who I actually had a friendship with. You remember Brianna? I actually started talking to her again.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It would be cool to have her. Imagine if I were to have her on the podcast. That'd be so funny. We have so many stories.
About your old times.
My freshman year, I was a cute girl. You know, of course I'm going to say that about myself, but I was actually like a cute girl and stuff. And there was a few guys that had like their eyes on me, and one of them was a senior and I was a freshman. So obviously, when there was a senior into a freshman, it was like, wow, like, that's so cool. So obviously I started to pursue him because, why wouldn't I, you know? So, I would kind of flirt with him every now and then. He would flirt with me every now and then. And at this time I had also been getting hit on by, I don't want to say his actual name. They both start with B's. But we'll say, okay, so the senior, we'll call him Butterfly.
And the other one, Pinky.
And Mom.
Pinky.
Okay, she wants to call him Pinky. Okay, so
I used to call him like that all the time.
Yeah, she would.
I'm used to it.
Oh, well, okay, so Butterfly and Pinky. Okay, Butterfly and Pinky. So Butterfly was the senior and Pinky was the guy I ended up dating, okay? So, oh my God, I feel like this story is going to be so confusing.
Why?
I don't know, it's not all over the place?
No.
Okay. So,
que pongan atención bien.
Yeah, just pay attention good because it's a lot. At the same time that I was kind of, flirting with Butterfly, I was also flirting with Pinky. And I was just kind of like whatever about it because Pinky, he was like a junior. Was he 2 years older than me or one?
I think one.
Okay. So
I'm sure
so
one.
He was like a
sophomore.
He was a sophomore when I was a freshman. And he was kind of, spitting game at me too. But I obviously had more interest in Pinky because he was the super cool guy of that high school that had money and he wore designer and stuff. And he was just top shit. Like, he was like a bad boy. Everyone knew him at the high school. My mom even knew him at the high school because he was known to be a troublemaker. Mm-hmm. He was known to be a troublemaker. So when I saw that he was interested in me, I was like, wow, okay. So obviously I was like on my high horse or whatever. And it ended up getting to a point where I don't even remember, but we kind of, me and Pinky, we were kind of talking in and out, and I was also talking to Butterfly in and out. So around this time, I had finally decided that I wanted to have a quinceañera. Mm-hmm. And I let you guys know that I wanted to have a quinceañera. I don't know if you knew about Pinky yet.
I did.
Around this time? Did you know through me or did you know through work?
Through work.
Okay.
And then I ask you and you confirm it.
Right. Because let them know what you did at that school. Like, what was your work at that school?
I was a lunch lady. Mm-hmm. But all the workers there, they were my friends. The campus supervisors. Yeah. And one of them was my best friend. And he was a campus supervisor. And he used to tell me where she was all the time, or Jenny. All the time. He had my phone. And, hey, what is Jenny doing over there? Hey, what is Annette doing over there? This is, she's supposed to be in class right now, blah, blah. And I got on it right away.
So he was the campus supervisor for Ruben as well?
For Ruben, 1 year. About 1 year and a half.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he was pretty much the plug for my mom. Like, he was legit telling my mom all the tea about us.
Not just him, about 3 or 4 people, but he was the main one.
Him. No, it was the main one. I remember it was mainly him because I used to avoid him all the time.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, this supervisor, campus aid supervisor, was also my track coach. He was also my track coach. So he legit had an eye on me 24/7. Mm-hmm. That didn't stop me, but it didn't stop me. So my mom was always getting the 411 in high school. And as soon as she found out that I was actually starting to interact with this guy, the Pinky guy, she obviously started to try to put a stop to it. I don't remember what you did exactly, but I don't know if you talked to me or...
I told your dad about it.
And what he told me?
We talked to you. He got mad at you.
What did he I don't remember.
I don't remember exactly, but we did talk to you. And he took away your phone a few times for about 2-3 weeks.
Because I kept talking to him?
Mm-hmm. But it didn't work.
Clearly, yeah. There was even a point where you guys were telling me that I wasn't going to have my quinceañera anymore.
Uh-huh.
There was a point where they were telling me if I continued to talk to this guy that I was not going to be able to have my quinceañera anymore. Mm-hmm. So here comes my brilliant plan, okay? Originally, I wanted my main chambelán to be obviously my boyfriend at the time, which was Pinky. Mm-hmm. Okay? So my parents end up telling me that I wasn't going to be able to have my quinceañera if I continued anything with him. So I got to a point where I was like, okay, well, if I can't have him as a chambelán, then I'm going to have Butterfly as a chambelán because I like him too. Fuck it, So I don't know if me and Pinky ended up taking a break or if we were just kind of like still talking or I don't know. I don't remember exactly what happened with him because obviously he wasn't okay with Butterfly being my main chambelán either. So it ended up just becoming like a dilemma, okay? Like a dilemma. Butterfly didn't know that I was still in communication with Pinky. And I had asked Butterfly to be my main chambelán, and he was 1,000% down. Like, he was super excited to be my chambelán, So I think we even had one... Dude, oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks. We had one practice together with Butterfly in our backyard. And I remember... Oh my God. I remember we were practicing with that lady. Do you remember the lady that would teach us how to dance? She had glasses.
Yeah.
And she was so mean.
Flor. Her name used to be Flor. I got into it with her so many times.
She was mean, huh?
She was really mean, yeah.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Until I had a talk with her, remember? Like,
yes.
Hey, I'm paying you, so...
What would she say or what?
She used to complain about everything. And she used to regañarlos ustedes.
Us just being kids, you know?
Yeah. Hasta que la agarré y le dije, hey, I need to
She
talk
would
to you.
make us do push-ups.
I need to talk to you. So yeah, we had a talk, and I told her I'm paying you, and I'm paying you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you cannot be mistreating them. They're kids, you know.
That's crazy.
Whenever you have a problem with them, you come to me and let me know. But don't go straight to them, you know.
That's
talk
crazy.
Bad and no, they were kids, and then from kids, I feel like she was abusing them.
Yeah.
That wasn't right. So yeah, she stopped after I had a talk with her.
Dude, that's crazy because I'm literally remembering she would make my chambelanes do push-ups and stuff.
And she used to punish them, remember?
Take away
you're
their
not going to be able to
phones.
practice. You go over there in that corner and you're going to be right there until practice is done.
That's so funny.
But see, at the beginning, I didn't know until you told me everything about it. I go, what? I didn't know that was going on.
Vieja.
Yeah.
Pinche flor.
¿No te acuerdas? Que no me decías lo que estaba pasando hasta que ya me dijiste, I guess you had it or something. Y a un muchacho le había quitado el teléfono.
Yeah. I think it was Luis.
Oh, yeah, I remember it was Luis.
I think my mom finally decided to say something when I told her that
Yeah, because I didn't know everything.
that the lady was bitching at the nicest kid out of all of them. Super nice, super skinny little kid. He wasn't a disturbance. He wasn't rude. He was super, super sweet. And once my mom heard that she was not bullying him, but disciplining him, that's when my mom was like, what the fuck is this bitch doing?
But she wasn't disciplining him the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't
who
nobody.
the fuck is she? She's
She
just
wasn't
a dance
nobody
instructor.
to be disciplining the kids like that. But when I found out, ooh, pobre vieja.
Yeah, she heard it from Lorena69. But I remember one of the practice days that we had, Butterfly came and we were doing the vals. I don't know. We were practicing. You weren't there.
Oh, no?
No, you weren't there. You were inside. For sure you were inside. But, he was, we were dancing and stuff. And out of nowhere, he tells me, are you still talking to Pinky? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I'm not going to be your chambelan then. And I was like, what do you mean you're not going to be my chambelan? My quince is literally around the corner because we planned it pretty last minute. We didn't have that much time to plan it. So I was like, what the fuck do you mean you're not going to be my chambelan anymore? And yeah, dude, he legit walked off that day. He legit walked off. And I remember he ended up communicating with you.
No, because I called him. Remember, I called him so many times and he wouldn't pick up. Until I left a ugly message on his voicemail.
Yeah, because he legit just dipped and he wasn't coming to the practices anymore or anything like that.
No, he wouldn't answer messages or calls or anything. And I left an ugly message.
What did you say?
I was like, ¿sabes qué? Yo te tenía por una persona bien responsable, pero miro que no eres responsable.
Yeah.
Y ya eres un adulto. Por lo menos...
Because he was older.
Por lo menos ten el valor de hablarme y decirme, ¿sabe qué? No lo voy a hacer. Y ya te dejo de molestar.
Yeah.
And he called me back.
He did?
Yeah. And he sounded nervous. He was like, no, es que no voy a poder ser tu chambelán. ¿Y por qué de un momento a otro no vas a poder? Le digo, ¿qué responsabilidad la tuya? Pero igual, si no quieres o no puedes, no te puedo forzar.
I don't think you even knew why he left.
No, until right now.
Yeah, that's why he left.
Yeah.
Because I was still, and I do feel bad because he did like
que ¿por qué
me.
va a ser tu chambelán si va a casar contigo o qué?
I mean, we ended up talking years later, so I guess it worked out, but
yeah, el otro día me compró un shot.
yeah, literally.
Not too long ago.
Awkward. Awkward.
Y yo lo regañé todo, pobre.
You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. It's okay.
Maybe he did, porque me compró shots el otro día.
Mom, you're talking about centuries ago, literally. Yeah, right. He's probably like, how's Annette?
Yeah, he did.
Shut up. He really did.
How's Annette doing?
Bye. She's married and has a kid.
She's doing good. No, todavía no estabas embarazada.
Oh, no?
No. It was before that.
Oh, shit.
He's just good. Busy, working. Yeah, I heard she's doing really good. I'm happy for her.
He's like, I heard she's doing really good. He's all... So yeah, he ended up dipping on me, and after that, you know, I mean, I had my quince, everything was cool. The quince was pretty cool. It was really nice. I'll try to find some footage that I can add onto here, but my dad wasn't really able to find.
He found them.
Oh, he did?
He was doing something to them this morning.
Oh, really? Okay. So I'll try to add some footage here if we're able to get that. But it was a really iconic moment. And then after that, obviously I stayed with Pinky. And dude, I ended up being with him for a total of like 3.5 years, which was crazy. And now that I look back, like, I really wish that I wouldn't have been in that relationship because my high school experience wasn't as good as it could have been. Because, you know, we would always fight and stuff.
Always fighting.
Always fight.
24/7.
And I'm like, what the fuck would we even fight about? Would you hear us or no?
He was jealous all the time.
Really? Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because, like, now that I look back at it, I'm just like, oh my God, like, it's crazy how our parents, like, know when someone's, like, not good for us and we just don't want to listen because we're like, you don't know anything. You don't know, you know? Mm-hmm. But, you know, I stayed in that relationship for a really long time. And it got to a point where I ended up leaving him because things started to get really weird with him. He was never physical with me or anything, but he started to get, like, really fucking angry all the time and stuff. And I found out that supposedly he had a problem with drinking at the time and stuff, but I kind of knew that it was something a little bit deeper than that because of, you know, I knew him from his sophomore year up until his first year being graduated. And it was like a really big jump from like being normal to like being really fucking angry all the time, you know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I ended up leaving him. Everything was good. I moved out and stuff. And then actually at some point when I had moved out already, I got in communication with him again. And not even to like get back with him or anything like that. But he was at the end of the day a really big part of my life. And I do have like a place in my heart for him because he contributed. He's just a part of my life. You know, he's a part of my memories. So I had decided to get in communication with him and we kind of just talked and stuff. And dude, he was completely different. He was like so into God now, super about like church and stuff. And he ended up apologizing to me and he was like, hey, like, I'm really sorry. And I want you to know that like, I appreciate you for the love that you gave me and stuff. And I want to tell you this because like, I have love for you still and stuff. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? But he ended up telling me that he was actually on meth when we were together. And he was super young, dude. He was super young, hanging out with people on the streets way older than him. And he got into meth. And, you know, that was when I broke up with him because I thought that it was drinking, you know. Mm-hmm. Me not knowing anything. Yeah. I was really young. I didn't know anything about that. And he ended up telling me that. And así quedó. We ended up losing communication and stuff because I kind of felt bad because I knew that he was still in love with me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't want to keep, you know, like dragging him on if I'm not into him like that anymore. No. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I remember que no hallábamos chambelán. It was a month before the quinceañera, I remember.
Yeah, we struggled for sure to find a chambelán for me because, dude, like, he ended up leaving at a really, really bad timing. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know what to do. And you chose my chambelán for me pretty much at that point.
Yeah, my friend's son. Decidí, me acordé que mi amiga tenía su hijo pues ya estaba mayor. He was like, no mucho como...
He was already graduated, I think.
Like 18.
Yeah.
Y dije, pues ni modo. You know, she needs a chambelán and we're a month.
I didn't even know him. Like, I know him from...
little.
Like, when we were
little.
really, really little. Really little.
Uh-huh.
But we had no type of communication after that. And I was like, I don't want a chambelán that I don't even know.
Well, right now you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You just need a chambelán, you know? So I decided to call my friend and ask her, hey, I need a favor. This happened, blah, blah, blah. And we're only a month away from the quinceañera. Do you think your son is willing to, you know, be her chambelán? And she was like, yeah, I'm sure. I'll ask him. When he comes home from school, I'll ask him. And then I'll give you a call back. So, yeah. right away he said yes. And he was really handsome, right?
Yeah, he was cute. Yeah, he was cute, but like I didn't know him, you know, so it was just like really awkward. And he was cute, but he was really awkward. Like he was really awkward, and we didn't know each other. He was already older, dude, like over here dancing with a 14-year-old, like girl, almost 15-year-old.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
that was a big favor.
No, it was.
It was a big
But I'm
favor.
saying, like, I understand why he was so awkward because, like, what the fuck? Like, you know?
with a little girl.
But yeah, I mean, everything ended up good. And
It came out really good. ¿Qué pasó?
I'm trying to sit here and think because I remember the day of my quinceañera, I got in trouble again by my dad.
The day of the quinceañera.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was over there. He went to the party. Don't you remember?
He did go to the party,
and
huh?
your dad or somebody told your dad. I don't remember if your dad found you or
my
somebody. I think
God.
Ruben told your dad. I think it was
Dude,
Ruben.
I'm literally getting flashbacks in
that
this moment.
He got to the party at night.
My boyfriend at the time, the pinky guy, I had secretly invited him over to the quinceañera, and the way that the event was set up was like to where it was like at the top it was the main party, the main stage, where you drink, where you eat, and then there was like a little like ranch area like on the bottom where like it was separated. So if you were over here, you didn't know what was going on over there. If you were over there, you didn't know what was going on over here. So I remember I invited him over and we were at the lower part of the party. So I thought nobody saw us, but I ended up getting in trouble that night.
I think it was Ruben. I think it was Ruben that told your dad that he was there. So you got in trouble again.
I got into so much trouble with that guy, dude.
And then when your grandparents found you in the back of the yard.
Okay, so I don't remember when this was exactly. I can't give you guys a time frame or anything, but I'm just going to give you guys a funny story time about this same guy because I got into so much trouble for him. And also keep in mind, this is the guy that actually introduced me to Miss Mary Jane as well. So I don't know, he has a big part in my life, honestly. So one day my grandparents were over. Pobrecito, my grandpa.
No, we left to Mexico and they came to stay with you.
You guys left to Mexico.
We went to Mexico for a week, I think, and we brought my parents to stay with you and Jenny. Well, Jenny and Ruben, all three of you.
Yeah.
While we were gone.
And
that's when it happened.
So I'll tell my part of the story and then you can tell your part of the story.
Whoa.
My parents weren't there, obviously. They were on their Mexico trip, and I figured that it would be easy to do stuff behind my grandparents' backs. Pobrecitos. Oh, my grandpa was probably asleep, for sure. And my grandma probably cooking or cleaning.
But
I don't know.
She was the one to find you.
I know, she was the one that found me. But okay, so I thought that in my head that my grandparents were never gonna, find out that I was doing anything like behind their back. So, I decided to just tell him. I was like, hey, just come over for a little bit. Like, my parents aren't here. My grandparents are, occupied. They're doing their own thing. So just come. Like, I don't think they'll see. Our backyard connects to like a church. So he got in through the church. We have like this what is that, like a tool house? What do you call that? Like a storage house?
Little storage house.
Yeah, it's like a little storage house. And I was like, we could just hide right there. So
inside?
No, like behind it.
Oh.
So he ends up hopping over the fence from the church to get into our house, into our backyard, and we're just chilling there, and we're kissing and stuff or whatever. And then out of nowhere, I hear my grandma say, "Ani, mija, Ani." And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I'm gonna look fucking dumb just popping out of the backyard. Like, what am I gonna say I'm doing? So this is like the house thing, and I go, "Mande."
What the hell are you doing there?
And she's like, "Mija, ¿dónde estás? Or qué estás haciendo?" And I was like, "Nada, abuelita, ahorita voy." And she's like, "Okay, aquí te espero."
Oh, gee.
And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, all right, well, I told them, I was like, well, just wait here. I'm going to have to leave. And then you just leave, just wait for us to leave. So then I go inside and I'm all pissed off because I already knew she knew, dude. I already fucking knew. But she didn't say anything right away. So whatever, I thought I was slick and I thought I got away with it. And then he ended up leaving. He got home. Nothing crazy. He had a car, so that's what made it easy for him to like always see me. He had a car, so it was, you know. So he left, he drove home, and then I remember my grandma came into my room maybe like a few hours later, dude. A few hours. So at this point I had genuinely thought that I was already off the hook, that I wasn't gonna get in trouble or anything. And then she goes, what did she say? She was like, mija, ya sé que estabas afuera con un muchacho. No le voy a decir a tu mamá, pero no deberías de hacer esas cosas. And then I was like, oh, like I couldn't even lie to my grandma at that point. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, sí estaba con un muchacho que me gusta or whatever, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah. She's like, well, no le voy a decir a tu mamá, pero, no lo hagas otra vez. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, right. She told me right away. We got back.
I got in fucking trouble, dude. I got in trouble. I'm pretty sure I got my phone taken away and stuff. Yeah. And in my head, I was like, I thought my grandma didn't say shit.
But you're forgetting one thing.
What?
Que te llenaste toda de caca de Charlie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she was just telling me the other day. No me acordaba yo and she reminded me. Que te llenaste toda de caca por andar allá con el novio en la yarda in the back.
How does she know? I smelled?
No, que porque te quitaste los zapatos, que no sé qué, que my dad was the one that cleaned them for you.
Oh, my grandpa.
Que le dijo que my dad was like, para que se le quite, no andar escondiendo, se anda escondiendo con los novios. Qué bueno
my
que
grandpa was probably pissed.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was pissed. My grandpa was always like he was very strict.
Oh, yeah.
My grandpa was very strict. That's funny.
Yeah, she was telling me about it the other day.
Or what about how when you guys... we've never talked about this, but what about how when you guys got an alarm because I had snuck him in at night?
Like, what?
What about how you guys ended up installing an alarm system?
Oh.
Because I snuck him in at night?
Mm-hmm.
And we were fucking arguing so bad, dude. Like, I had found stuff on his phone and I was like so pissed off. And then I don't remember if someone came to the room and knocked. From what I remember, nobody told me anything.
He used to come and knock at any time of the night.
He
ring
would
the doorbell.
Go whenever we would
ring the doorbell.
Huh?
Knock on your room. Yeah, he used to go crazy. You don't remember that?
Now I do.
Mm-hmm. He used to go and talk to your dad, crying that he wanted to see you. But this is when you didn't want to go back to him. He was like desperate. He used to be like,
I do remember.
You just leave her alone. Leave her alone. She doesn't want to be with you. Leave her alone. Get out of here because I'm going to call the police on you. Your dad got mad at him. And then one time Ruben too. Because he was knocking on the door.
Uh-huh.
And Ruben got mad. He opened the door. He was like, if you don't leave us alone, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Even Jenny told him stuff. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Oh, that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, at the end, he was like really desperate.
Not sad for him, but just sad because like that's someone's son, you know?
Oh, yeah, but...
Yeah, but he was a bad kid.
He was a bad
And he
kid.
was obviously in bad stuff. You know, he was involved in meth and hardcore drugs and stuff, you know? So another thing that I actually wanted to talk about in today's episode is, motherhood a little bit because, I'm a mom now. And for the longest time, I said that I didn't want kids. Did you always know that, like, I was gonna have a kid?
Yeah, but not this soon.
Or did you think that that I genuinely meant that I didn't want kids?
No. I never believed you.
No?
No. Because remember que siempre te decía todo a su tiempo. Y yo sé que un día sí vas a tener ya cuando estés lista. Pero no pensé que tan pronto.
So you think it was really soon?
No, not soon. But
it's a good time, in the relationship.
Because you used to say all the time that, no kids for me, blah, blah, blah. Yo pensé que ya está after 30, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Not at 24. That's why I was like, oh, what?
So you feel... But girl, you had one at 19.
Yeah, but I never said I wasn't going to have kids. I never said it.
But you know what? Okay, look, honestly, I feel like I... Genuinely, I feel like I always said I didn't want kids because... I wanted them secretly. Does that make sense? Like, I would always be like, no, I don't want kids. Like, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. But, like, I felt like I couldn't have kids with the people that I was with.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? And maybe that made me, like, I knew they wouldn't be good dads. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I knew they wouldn't be...
That's why I used to tell you, when you meet the right person,
yeah,
and when you're ready, that's when you had.
And they didn't want kids either, so I feel like that's also what contributed a lot to, like me saying I didn't want kids, and then when I wasn't with anyone, I felt like I was already just so traumatized from like being fucked over and stuff that I was like, no, I don't want kids. Yeah. Like, I don't want kids. I don't want to deal with the relationship and have to have kids, you know, and stuff. But now I'm at the point in my life where obviously I had a kid. And, you know, one thing I will say no matter what is my kid will forever be my kid, relationship or not. Mm-hmm. You know, whether relationships work out or not, my kid is my kid, and I will forever be a parent to my kid. And I would hope that it's the same exact way for, you know, Isaac, you know, if things were to never work out. But obviously, we're not here spreading negative energy. But that's just how I feel now, mm-hmm. you know.
It's just life.
But yeah, I feel like my life has changed so much since I have given birth, and now I feel like I relate to you like on a whole nother level because, well, we're moms. We're both moms. Mm-hmm. We share that now. Mm-hmm. And now that I like think about it, and like there's times where I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. I'm like, how the fuck did my mom do it? Because my mom never got help from her mom,
or my suegra, from nobody,
or my suegra, my grandma.
No, any of my grandmas. It was just me. Your dad was working, and it was just me.
And you had us, I mean, not back to back, but 5 years apart.
5 years apart.
So do you?
But see, when your brother, when I had you, and when I had Jenny, your brother was already 5.
So he was. Helping.
He used to help me a lot. When I had you, Jenny was already 5. He was 10. Mm-hmm. So they used to help me with you a lot. But I used to work all the time.
Yeah.
I used to work Monday through Friday, sometimes Monday to Saturday.
And who would take care of us? My tia?
You, nobody. You, nobody. The other ones, I used to take them to babysitters, Jenny and Ruben. But I never took you to the babysitter because you were always sick, remember?
Yeah.
Had asthma. So when I had you, I didn't want to leave you with the babysitter because you were always sick. I decided to...
take me to work.
No. Watch kids. That was very, very hard work.
When I was a baby?
Mm-hmm. I used to take care of 5 kids because we had just bought the house like 3-4 years ago, and it was really hard. Your dad needed the help. I had to work. So I started babysitting kids. I used to babysit 5 kids. They used to bring them at 3 in the morning and pick them up at 6 or 7 p.m. It was very hard.
And how old were they?
The one they used to bring at 3 in the morning, she was a baby. She was like, I babysat her since she was like 2 months. 2 months?
Up until how old?
Until she was like, I don't even remember. But maybe like 2.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And taking care of your own kids is already hard. Imagine taking care of other people's
That's
kids.
when, what's her name? Edith. She used to help me to take the other ones to school because I couldn't take everybody. Ella les daba raite a la escuela a Jenny y a Ruben. Un tiempo ella y un tiempo Israel o Norma, the neighbor.
Really?
Yeah, they did help too. They helped
That's
a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because I couldn't take all the kids to take the other ones to school. Eso es algo que yo siempre he tenido, que le busco la forma. Oye, ¿cómo le voy a hacer para esto? Y me quedo pensando y digo, pues le hago así y asá y pongo esto aquí, pongo esto, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like that. No nomás, pues no puedo. Okay, pues no se pudo. No. Hay que sacarle vuelta y trabajar tu mente para arreglar una forma de que se pueda, porque sí se puede.
Yeah.
Querer es poder.
That's crazy.
And now I think back and I'm like, how the hell did I do it? because your dad, he used to work a lot at the time, and then after work he used to go to drink with his friends so many days, you know. He used to come home just ready to go to bed, and
at that point it's not even like you could be like, well, I'm a fucking bounce.
No, eran otras épocas.
Yeah.
No, te quedas allí y te quedas, you know.
Yeah. Well, he was the one making the money at the time as well, right?
He was. Well, I was making a lot of money watching 5 kids.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Well, at least you made money off of that.
Yeah. I was always working. Yo he trabajado toda mi vida hasta hoy día. Toda la vida.
Yeah.
Y a mí no me gusta quedarme nomás, ay, pues que me den para comprar. No, hell no. A mí me gusta trabajar y hacer mi dinero.
Yeah.
A mí no me gusta andar, ¿me das para esto? ¿Me das
like
para lo otro?
housewife stuff.
No.
Yeah, no. I think that's also where I feel like women tend to lose like self-love for themselves and stuff like that. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, like whatever works for your family works, but I feel like for me personally, that's where I get like the worth ethic from is from my mom and my dad, because they both work a lot, you know, and we were always raised in a household where we saw our moms working as well. So I feel like that for sure had a huge huge reason to why me and Jenny work a lot now, because
for sure.
we're, you know, we just it's just a part of us now.
Los tres también, Ruben.
Yeah,
Ruben
too.
Él hace trabajo
Pero
diferente.
yo digo like as women, because as women I feel like we're expected to just not work and just be housewives and stuff. And girl, that's not how I work. That's not how my mom works, and that's not how my sister works either. So that's one thing that I'm actually really thankful for, and I'm happy that I'm gonna be able to teach my son that as well, because I don't want him to grow up in that as well. Like I don't want him to be a machista ass guy. Fuck no, I do not want that. So do you feel like it was hard with Ruben, like raising him and being like there for him since he was a guy? Or do you feel like it was harder?
No, to me it wasn't harder.
Because my dad was always like really shy to have like a really good like boy to man relationship with my brother.
For him it was hard, not for me.
Yeah.
No.
That's the good thing, at least.
No, yo siempre hablaba con él y decía, mijo, si necesitas
condones
y te da pena decirme, escríbeme una notita y me la dejas en mi nightstand right there. Y allí tú vas a encontrar tu cajita. No te voy a decir nada si te da pena. Yo entiendo. Pero por pena no vayas a cometer una tontería. ¿Ah? Entonces, yo siempre fui abierta con mis hijos, con los tres igual, con los tres. Pero, pues bueno, como quiera que sea, con mi hijo no trabajó porque él embarazó a su novia muy pronto, muy temprano. Y pues qué bueno, pues ya tenemos la niña, ya es grande, ya es una señorita y todo, pero ya teniendo un hijo, muchachas, no puedo usar, se arruina la vida, porque no, es una gran bendición, pero se les acaba toda su libertad. Para empezar, se acaba la libertad, y lo más importante, ya no pueden dormir como dormían antes. Ya no, ni dormir.
You can't even eat the same way. You can't even poop the same.
You
shower
can't even
the
go
same way.
to the store the
Nothing.
same way.
Nothing.
You can't, porque andas allá y estás preocupada.
Yeah.
¿Qué estará haciendo? ¿Estará bien? ¿Lo estarán dejando llorar? Bla, bla, bla. ¿Estará orinado? Es la realidad. Por eso les digo, espérense, tengan sus niños a su tiempo, porque ya teniendo niños, ya son su responsabilidad de por vida.
Yeah. Then your focus becomes your kid, not even necessarily like you. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, reality.
Do you remember when I was like fresh out of giving birth? Dude, I was so emotional. Remember when I would just look at you and cry?
Así es.
Or
hija.
with Isaac? Oh my God, dude.
Así es. Y qué bueno que me tenías, porque
I
yo
know.
no tenía a nadie.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, thinking about that, like, girl, that's how, dude, like, that's how babies die. And that's how women do crazy shit.
Yo no tenía a nadie, porque te digo, tu papá salía de trabajar y a veces iba con los amigos a tomar y ya no llegaba hasta en la noche. And I was like, y en ese tiempo no había ni cell phones.
You're all paging him? You're all...
No, todavía no había pagers.
No?
No, de Rubén todavía no había pagers. Hasta después, como a los... Or maybe there was, but they were very expensive. We couldn't afford them. Tu papá agarró un pager y hasta un beeper se llamaba, ¿no?
Yeah, I
beeper,
think so.
Beeper. Hasta cuando ya teníamos como maybe 4 or 5 years married. Hasta entonces.
Really?
And it was the
Basic.
No, it was the same thing porque I used to I mean, so what was the point?
He would go like this.
Ah, la vieja. Que se espere. No, y aparte de eso tenían que ir a un payphone a hablar para atrás.
Really?
Yes, because that was just a beeper.
Como like letting you know
Como,
that someone
hey,
called you.
Call me. Yes, it was just a beeper.
That's crazy.
Tenían que ir a either, si alguien tenía un cell phone, hey, me lo prestas, o un house phone, hey, me lo prestas, y si no, they had to look for a public
crazy.
phone. Estoy acordando que hasta ahorita quiero llegar a ahorcarlo un rato.
Yeah, I bet. You and I both, bro. Because, dude, that point in life is just so crazy. It's such a life-changing moment that, like, you feel scared. Like,
Yes.
you didn't ever feel depression?
Hell yeah, I did. ¿Y qué me ganaba? I was here alone. My whole family lived up there, North Cali. And I was here alone.
Crazy.
It was really tough for me.
So do you feel like at that point you were just kind of, like, just trying to get through every day?
Yeah, I was just thinking about my kids. And that
Okay,
was it.
wake up, go to sleep. All right, we're done.
No, not really. No, I used to work at the time. I used to take him to a babysitter like at 5 in the morning. Ya con su comida y todo. Ya luego los recogía como a las 3:30, 4 cuando salía del trabajo. Y let's go to the house, do the same thing. A limpiar, a lavar, a hacer de comer, a hacerles el lonche de mañana, arreglarles su ropita, que la tarea ya la hicieron. Y tu papá, pues la mayoría de veces no estaba allí. You know? But I did it.
But, like, what trips me out is that, like, you just knew how to, like, do that. Like, you just, as soon as you had your kids, like, you knew what to do already.
I didn't know. I learned myself.
Because I didn't.
I didn't know. I had to learn myself. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Who knows? I was the oldest. I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
So
So even
yo no
if you
miré a
were
nadie.
with your family, you would still have to figure it out on your own because...
On my own, but hubiera sido diferente porque mi mamá hubiera estado allá y mi mamá siempre nos ha ayudado.
Yeah.
Mi mamá nunca nos ha dejado solas, pero estábamos muy lejos. So yo no tenía ni idea.
How long do you feel like it took you to, like, finally get to the point where you're like, okay, I feel like I finally have, like, I understand how to be a mom now. Like, I'm not tripping about it. Or do you feel like you were always tripping about it up until we
No.
moved out?
Oh no. It took me a long time. It took me like maybe a little bit over a year.
That's nothing.
Oh, I had to. I didn't have no choice.
I think it's just tripping me out because I'm like, I'm over here like stressing out. Like, I don't know how to clean and stuff. Like, I don't know how to cook and stuff. But, like, you were doing it all. So I'm like, why am I tripping?
I always been brave, thank God. Always, always, always. And that helps a lot.
But it's not that I'm scared necessarily. It's just more like, I feel like I don't have time.
Pues sacas tiempo de donde sea.
Yeah.
Sacas
I don't know.
tiempo,
It's hard,
'cause
dude.
we don't have a choice. I mean, you know.
It's hard. Like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
hard.
what does the older generation have? Like, what secret formula do you guys have that, like, we don't have? Because I feel like just the new generation, like our generation, like Jenny's generation and Ruben's generation, we don't have that, like, that natural, like, oh my God, I know how to make sopa de arroz. Or, like, frijoles. Like,
Es que eran otras épocas porque I learned
Right.
how to cook when I was 11.
Do you know what I
we
mean,
were
though?
really poor. And I
Okay,
had to
yeah.
watch my brothers and sisters for my parents to go to work. Y eran otras épocas que no es como ahora que, ay, no me gusta esto, ahí te quedas, yo ya me voy, te dejo.
Right.
Ahora no. Digo, antes no, porque simplemente, mira, yo cuando me casé con tu papá, I was like maybe 5 or 6 months pregnant of Ruben. Pues
oh, you were pregnant when you got married?
No. After. No. Cuando ya tenía como 5 o 6 meses de embarazada con Rubén fue cuando dije, déjame, ¿qué hice? Me vine, dejé a toda mi familia. I'm alone here. Estoy sola. Nomás con mi panza y mi marido, ¿ah? Estoy sola and I used to cry a lot. Como que a veces me arrepentía.
Okay, so you did feel...
¿Qué hice?
Okay.
¿Qué hice? Yo pensé, porque tus abuelitos eran bien strict. Y yo pensé que al casarme, it was going to be fun for me, ¿me entiendes?
That was like your escape.
Yeah. ¿Te imaginas qué tonto está uno a veces? Antes, ahorita ya no.
Well, it's because you're young and you're dumb.
So, órale, se casó, se movió 7 horas de distancia y ¡zas! Y aquí me vengo a dar cuenta que tu papá le encantaba. ¿Y qué hacía yo? Entonces, cuando ya tenía como 5 o 6 meses de embarazada, I was like, what the hell did I do? Y me arrepentí muchas veces. I wanted to go back to my parents, pero ya no se pudo. Un día le hablé a mi mamá y le dije, and I was crying, and I was pregnant de Rubén. Mamá, bla, 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 me doy cuenta que pues como que me quiero regresar con ustedes porque Rubén toma mucho y se va todos los días a tomar después del trabajo y ella llega nomás a dormir, bla, bla, bla. Ya cuando acabé de hablar me dice, ok, te voy a hacer unas preguntas y sé sincera y contéstame. ¿Te golpea? No, nunca me ha golpeado. ¿Sabes que anda con otras viejas? No, pues que no, tampoco. ¿El cheque se lo gasta con los amigos? ¿Tienen hambre? ¿No tienen comida? No, pues que no. Le dijo, ¿y sabes qué me dijo tu abuelita? Y hasta hoy día me retumban aquí sus palabras. Te aguantas, hija. Dijo, porque desde que andabas de novia con él, te dijimos que ese muchacho tomaba mucho y que tuvieras cuidado y nunca nos hiciste caso. Ahora te aguantas. Never again. Nunca jamás le dije nada a mi mamá y menos a mi papá.
Did you feel like mad though?
En ese momento me sentí como, ay, güey, pues ni modo, you know? Pero ya.
But did you kind of feel like, well, I just kind of want support from my mom. Like, I don't want to hear that, like, I did this to myself.
I don't even remember. But I was sad. I was really sad because I was hoping for her to tell me, oh, mija, está bien, vente para acá, no te preocupes, bla, bla. No, it was the opposite. Pero ya después sí me dijo, hija, si quieres venir, vamos por ti. But I was like, no, I have to be responsible. I'm a grown up. I'm pregnant. Aquí estoy, me aguanto y las cosas van a cambiar.
Yeah.
Primero Dios. And he did change. But it took him years.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It took him years. It took him like...
For sure.
Yeah, after Jenny was born, everything started changing. But it was really hard.
I just feel like when you're that young, you really think that, like, you could do anything and that everything's going to work out and stuff. And, you know, but...
Yeah.
It's not until reality really hits that you're like, oh, shit.
¿Qué hice?
Maybe I shouldn't have done this, you know? Yeah. That's scary. Life is scary.
Very scary.
Life is so weird.
Mientras sean valientes y responsables, no pasa nada.
Yeah.
No pasa nada. Y again, si no se quieren quedar en una relación, no se tienen que quedar. Por eso tienen que ser mujeres independientes.
Right.
Siempre.
Right.
No depender del hombre.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that you have always, maybe you don't even realize that you taught us that, but like just kind of even seeing you, like how you how you carry yourself. Because my mom, obviously, she loves my dad and they're a partner, they're a couple and stuff, but like my mom has always maintained her independence, you know, especially at one point in your life when you were overweight, you did lose that. You weren't really like, oh, like I have to have my own back. I have to this, I have to that. I feel like you lost yourself when you gained weight. But once you finally put yourself forward and you started to actually do things for yourself and you lost weight and stuff, that's when you really got back into your like, I'm doing me and I have to just do what I have to do for me and my kids, and whatever happens, you know?
Exactly.
And I think that also really changed your relationship with my dad.
Oh, yes.
At that point.
1,000%.
And it just changed like the family in general as well, because dude, that was like a huge change. A huge change, because you were struggling with that for a long time. The weight loss.
A lot of years.
A lot of years. And then it kind of even got to a point where I started to like gain weight and stuff. And I remember one time my dad told me something that like I will never forget.
¿Qué te digo?
And it makes me so sad still. But I remember one time he came home from work, probably from hanging out with friends too or something, I don't know. But I remember he like sat me down and I was just like sitting down with him or whatever, and he told me, he's like, mija, he touched my stomach. He touched my stomach and he was like, maybe you should start playing soccer or something, or something, you know? And I was just like, what are you trying to say? And he was just like laughing. You know that thing that my dad does when he's saying something and he'll go like, like he laughs a little bit? That would make me so mad. Because that would mean that he's saying something so serious, but he's like laughing. I don't know. It's weird. You know what I'm talking about,
He's
though, right?
trying not to make you feel bad.
Yes, he's trying not to make you feel bad, but he makes you feel worse when he does that. So he did that, and I was just like, I was so sad, I remember. And then I joined soccer, and I sucked. I sucked hell. I have never been like a very sporty type of athletic person. Out of all of us, I think Ruben's probably the most.
Ruben is the number one, yeah. Nah,
Jenny
Lolo se cansa.
But she was pretty athletic.
She was good at track
and volleyball. She did volleyball.
When she used to go to
I think she was
school.
better at volleyball than track.
Yeah.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
And I remember I went to try out for the same team in high school, and they rejected me because Jenny was my sister.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Why?
Because the coach didn't like her.
Oh.
You don't remember?
Yeah, me acordé.
Yeah, she didn't like Jenny. And I remember when I was at the tryouts, she came up to me and she was like, "Are you Jenny's sister?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then just coincidentally, I didn't make the cut after that. I had made the first cut. The second cut, I didn't make it once she knew I was Jenny's sister.
Desgraciada. I want you to get your dad in here.
I'm down to have my dad on here. But I feel like he's going to be too shy to talk. You know my dad. Yeah, you know my dad. Like, I feel like if I were to have my dad on here, I would for sure have to make like a list of questions and stuff. Because also, I'm chiona when it comes to him.
He's too shy. He's going to cry.
He's going to cry and I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
I already know. We're just going to
chillar todo el podcast. Y todas las que lo estén viendo.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, even having you, I stopped myself from talking about a lot of stuff because I did not want to be crying throughout this entire podcast. Like, I'm a chiona. Huh? Am I a chiona?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, dude. I really am.
I'm not.
You're not.
I am.
Not really.
I'm not. Pero cuando le suelto, no paro.
I have only seen you cry a couple times.
A couple of times?
Yeah.
When was that?
Like when your dad passed away. When I gave birth.
Yeah, tú eres más débil como tu papá.
I'm like my dad. I'm exactly like my dad.
Actually, all three of you. También Jenny y Ruben son muy débiles. Como tu papá. Nadie salió fuerte como yo.
We're just really sentimental. Very. Like, even if we hug each other, like if I hug my dad, oh my God. I kind of hate that. I hate that because I feel like it stops me from like having a better relationship with people because I'm like shy or too emotional to like express myself, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be like that with Demi.
No, pues no. Lo más fuerte que se puede hacer es lo mejor.
We're not like cariñosos.
Cariñosos. No, yo pienso que tú eres la más cariñosa de los tres.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. That's really awkward for us. Like, we're really awkward when it comes to that type of stuff. Do you remember the first time that you caught me smoking?
Do I remember the first time? Fue en tu cuarto, ¿no?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was when I was in Jenny's room already. Mm-hmm. You remember? Mm-hmm. So what do you remember of that?
El olor.
So you actually smelled it?
Yes.
Really?
I smelled it y luego que te estaba tocando y no me querías abrir.
And I was all panicking. I was like... But I had the window open.
Yeah, con las ventanas abiertas, pero no me abrías. Annie, ábrele. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Nada, wait. I'm getting dressed. No me acuerdo. Pero yo ya estaba curada de espantos porque pues ya había visto a Jenny y todo. Ay, hija de su madre.
You know what the funny thing is though? Jenny wasn't smoking at that time.
No.
I don't think so. You know why?
Entonces, ¿a quién caché primero? ¿A ti o a Jenny?
A me.
Oh, shit.
Because I remember there was even a time where I told Jenny that I smoked. because I was with Pinky and he introduced me to that and stuff. And I remember she told me, she's like, if you don't stop, I'm going to tell my mom. And then that's when she met in them and all of them. But that's when she started to smoke. Yeah, but I remember that day because to my defense, I didn't know that you were gonna still be awake because it was at night. You were already going to bed. You were gonna go shower and go to bed. And normally you would just shower and go straight to bed. And I don't know, I guess that time you smelled it or...
Yeah, I did.
Everything was good. I was blowing it all out through the window, but I guess... I mean, realistically speaking, if you're lighting it inside of the house, you're gonna smell it, you know? But me, just young and dumb, thinking that I could get away with everything, I guess, you know, you were able to smell it. And then she came to my room and she was knocking. And, I mean, at that point when I opened it, I couldn't even lie to you.
No, y no le querías abrir. Duraste un rato hasta que te dije, ¿le abres o le digo a tu papá? No, hombre.
Really? See, that part I don't remember. Really?
And I never told him.
Oh, you didn't?
No, he was already asleep. Nomás con eso te amenacé, pues, para que le abrieras.
Okay, and then what do you remember after that? Once I opened it, what do you remember?
Te dije, ¿qué estás haciendo? Nada. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Y te dije, ¿por qué huele así? ¿Así cómo? Huele a zorrillo. What are you talking about? Le dije, no te hagas mensa. No te hagas mensa. ¿Qué estás haciendo? And then you started crying.
LOL. Are you serious? And what did I say?
Pues nada. Nomás empezaste a llorar. And I was mad. I was like, ya sabía. ¿Para qué te haces mensa? Ahorita le voy a decir a tu papá, lo voy a despertar. No, mom, please don't wake him up. Ahorita lo voy a despertar, but I didn't.
And I went to sleep shitting bricks that night. And then, yeah, I remember once I couldn't lie anymore. I was like, yeah, I smoke. And she was like, all right, well, just don't be doing it in my house, dude. Like,
No.
You know?
No.
And she was like, and don't ever let me see you doing it. Like, just don't. Like, I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know. And don't be stupid.
Ya, esa es una cosa que nunca les permito que fumen adentro de la casa.
Yeah.
No porque diga que esto, que lo otro, simplemente por respeto a otros.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Por respeto y porque hace daño a otras personas, pues, que no lo están fumando.
Y
no me gusta el olor.
Yeah, it smells.
No me gusta el olor y más que nada que respeten mi casa.
Yeah.
Afuera, órale, para atrás, quien quiera fumar.
Yeah, so after that, I mean, it wasn't really weird after that. I feel like it was just like, okay, well, I know she smokes.
Yeah, you used to go to the back every night.
Yeah, I used to go to the back.
Ya luego sí le dije a tu papá.
And
Pero ya había pasado tiempo. Nada, nomás se quedó callado, tristecito. Ya ves que he doesn't say much.
My dad doesn't say much, yeah.
Y cuando dice, agárrense.
Yeah, once he actually speaks up, bitch, you better strap the fuck on. Because those little eyes are scary. His eyes are scary as hell. Scary.
Tiene la mirada bien fuerte, pues.
When he's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even when he's not mad, it's
Ni
very strong.
parpadea.
Yeah, it's very strong. He has a very strong
Mirada.
sight.
Yeah.
I'm already hungry.
Yo también.
So that is pretty much all we have for this episode. We didn't really have anything specific to talk about, but we just kind of wanted to chismear with you guys a little bit. But if you guys do want my mom to come on another podcast episode, be sure to let her know. Be sure to follow my mom on all of her platforms, all that good stuff. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add or we're good?
We're good.
Okay. She said we're good. So we love you guys so much and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Gracias, muchachas. Bye-bye.